Okay, so you just spilled something on yourself. You're just letting secrets out, Leon.
Oh, man.
Okay, what just happened? You're in the car, you're listening to a song, but it's a specific song. What were you listening to? Because now that you said a little something you got to share with the world.
Well, you know, I mean, I got this record out right now. It's called Mutt. You know, it just hit the Billboard charts with
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. So, you know, we've been working on a remix for some time, trying to figure out, like, who would be the best person. And I'm still not going to tell you guys who it is, but just know I was listening to a remix, an R&B mix that's going to be dropping for the deluxe. It's coming very soon. I'm really hyped about it. It sounds great.
Okay, can we take some guesses? You never have to answer, but can we take some guesses?
Okay, great.
Is it a girl?
No.
It's a guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
R&B.
Yeah, R&B guy. Yeah.
Okay. When was the last time we saw this person do anything?
I won't say the last time. I feel like the first time you saw this person do something was a very long time ago. He's been in the spotlight since he was a
Chris
kid
Brown.
like me. I don't know. Who knows?
Mario.
Who knows?
Katrina, give me more guesses.
Who knows?
Babyface!
I'm not telling you anything.
Babyface!
Oh, no, I'm not saying anything today. I'm not saying a thing. But just
Okay.
know it's on the way. It's on the
Okay.
way. It's going to be fire, and it's
Yeah.
definitely a heat rock. It's going to be playing in the clubs.
Oh, this
I'm
is
excited.
exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Which coast are they from?
Oh, I'm not saying anything else because I feel like you're gonna.
I'm good at this.
You're gonna land on it before we get out of here.
Okay. So now tell us about the deluxe. Like, when are we gonna get the deluxe album?
Well, we're looking to release it in May, and I'm just like finishing up mixes, and I'm definitely a perfectionist, so I'm making sure it's like just as potent as the first delivery of the album. But I'm really excited about where we're at. We worked really hard on it this year.
Why the deluxe?
Because, listen, when we dropped my album, it was past the due date for Grammy consideration. So I'm like trying to make sure we at least give Mutt the album like a fair chance, fair shot at, being nominated officially, for next year's Grammys.
Oh, you just want all the Grammys.
Yeah, God willing.
Listen,
That would be amazing.
You've been nominated before. You won a Grammy. So you just want to keep adding to everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
I mean, I'm like a big fan of another New York legend, Lauryn Hill. She has this iconic picture where she's like,
Yeah.
a bunch of them, you know what I'm talking about? It's so cool. I mean, I need to put that on my vision board. I want that one day,
Yeah. Do Grammys mean so much to you? Because, for an artist, I understand it meaning something, and I also understand if you don't want to always feel like your validation is based off an award show.
Well, you can't use that as a barometer for who you are and the worth of your art. But I will say, I just became a voting member of the Grammys, so I had an opportunity for the first time to like actually vote for every category that was just aired, and it was so cool because it's like, yeah, I'm an artist too, but I was sitting there really voting, and I mean, it is peer review, so you have like engineers, producers, songwriters, artists from all different genres, chiming in, and I think that's the cool part about it,
Do your friends in the industry look at you and be like, you know who to vote for, right?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
You know what time it is,
It's like
Leon.
a whole thing. I mean, the campaigning process, and it's interesting, even for certain records that I may have liked another song more. If that person's like my real homie, I'm like, if we really like tapped in, shared lunch, dinner, all that, like, I'm a show love, I'm gonna vote for your song, bro. Like,
I respect that because that's what it is, you know?
For sure.
That is so interesting. Now, you've been in the industry for a very long time, 20 years at this point.
Yeah.
You started off as a young child star, which is, it's so interesting because I think for many of us, like whether we knew you acting or seeing what you do as music, sometimes I don't know if the two worlds kind of connect. Like, I think you've been able to rebrand yourself as an artist as well without, your backstory. But I feel like it's given you such an edge. Like, you know so much. You probably have a wealth of knowledge.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of lessons I can pull out of my back pocket at this point.
Ooh.
It's been like so many ups and downs, and it hasn't all been smooth sailing. So I think I really appreciate the wins because I've been around for so long. Like it just means so much more to me. You know?
Yeah. So you started off on Broadway.
Yeah. I started off doing musicals out here on Broadway, and that was a really great, just all around entertainment, just class. I mean, you know, starting with Lion King. And, you know, it was really cool. I did this play called Carolina Change that even took me to LA for the first time. I went on tour with that and got to be in LA, and that's what kind of got me into doing TV and film. And when I came back, I did another play called Color Purple with Oprah, and that was really dope because Oprah, her show was still on air, so we even did the Oprah show. Like I was like on the Oprah show as a kid. Beyonce was actually promoting House of Dariana at the time. This is how long ago that was. Like,
wow.
Yeah. So
I went to the mall to pick up a pair of
see
House
if
of
you know, you
Dariana
know.
jeans. If you know, you know. Wait. Okay, this is so interesting. Out of all of your Broadway experiences, what was like a favorite memory?
I think my favorite memory would have to be in Lion King. As a kid, I just always remember there's like this part where they have you doing wire work, which means there's like people backstage pulling you up and you get to fly, So it was like my first time dealing with that. I mean, it was my first play, period, first job ever. But I just remember it being like, man, this is fun. Like it was like fun looking out into the crowd, seeing people happy. That exchange of energy that I still get to feel now, even when I perform my songs. To a sold out crowd, like it's an exchange,
Yeah, that's so crazy. You're playing young Simba at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so interesting because now you live in LA, and I was just, before the camera started rolling, I just feel like you have, abandoned your roots here in New York.
Nah, I'm gonna pop back and get a chopped cheese and do my thing. Like, I mean, I'm still me, but it was good that I was in LA for as long as I was for the music side of things.
Sure.
I feel like I really built a nice community out there and learned a lot, especially working under Babyface. That was my mentor, and he gave me access to an A room for free, which I don't think I could do in New York. I feel like they would have charged me for sure.
Can you explain why that means something?
It's a big deal. I mean, like even being here in this radio station right now, I mean, you guys have the best equipment,
Sure.
And in the A room you have like the SSL boards, so I had a chance to really like mess around with analog in a way that a lot of early producers don't get to, and that was a big perk. And there was a lot of instruments around, and even the community of people that would come through there. Like one time we were chilling, and it was like during Christmas time, and I'm hearing these like ad-libs through the hallway, so I follow like the sound of the music. I walk into the studio, Stevie Wonder's recording a Christmas record. Like, huh? Like what? Yo, Stevie Wonder. I'm like acting like I'm supposed to be in there. They done kicked me out. I'm like,
they didn't kick you out.
They definitely kicked me out. Like, bro, get out of here.
Wow.
But for sure, like
wow.
It was cool being in that scene at that time, and everything happens for a reason, I guess,
So then how did you land being on Nickelodeon?
Well,
was that after Broadway I'm sure someone like spotted you, or they saw your resume, and then that's how that world works?
Well, yeah, I started doing I got like a manager and an agent and all that, and then I booked a show called The Backyardigans, which is like this children's show.
Yeah.
I played Tyrone the Orange Moose, but I got a lot of love from executives over at Viacom, because around that same time I also booked a movie called August Rush with Robin Williams and Terrence Howard.
Wow.
And I was singing and acting, and they really saw like an it factor in me, and signed me to a deal at 13, which is called a development deal. So they were developing a TV show around me, and they gave me a record deal. So I was like put into studios out here in New York, like, and started kind of cooking up music. And Nickelodeon eventually put me on a show called Victorious after that.
This is crazy. Like when you're sharing this right now, how are you still humble? Just curious, because
I mean,
you've been in the game for such a long time.
It's been a long journey,
right? But meaning you have had so much success, right?
Thank you.
And people would die to have an ounce of the success that you've had.
Yeah.
And you don't come off very arrogant, condescending or anything. Because look, we've seen, different people carry their journey different ways. I'll say that, right? But you have, I don't know, I feel like you've gracefully handled everything. How have you been able to do that?
Well, I mean, I've just seen how being a jerk ends,
Yes.
you know, a lot of times. I mean, I've been in this a long time, so I've seen people come in, get hot, turn into a ego monster.
Yeah.
And then, like, they don't realize that a lot of the people that they're pissing off, even at the front, like, you know, I met the, you know, the lady who was at the front. She's working at the front right now, but who knows if in 4 or 5 years she might be working your job or whatever else, you know. So it's like people don't think about that part of it, and then they're just being mean to people that they consider small or whatever else, and then, you know, it's just a weird domino effect. I realize some of my favorite superstars, like being around Robin Williams, he would sign every autograph and was cool to the people in the makeup chair, like real chill to everybody on set. And I realized, like, that's an icon. Like,
That's right.
that's like somebody who's
That's right.
world known, you know?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, that's the vibe I want to carry.
That's so, I love that for you. And I'm happy that you are grounded and have that, because I think it's important, right? We've seen people go through these revolving doors all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And at the end of the day, how do you want your legacy to be remembered?
That's a really good question. I think it's a twofold thing. You know, I want to be seen as more than just an entertainer. I want to be seen as a creator. You know, I think my brain is really capable of amazing things. I mean, you've seen me go from one industry to the next.
That's right.
And I think, you know, some of my heroes were able to really be amazing entrepreneurs just as much as they were creatives. Like, shout out to Jay-Z, and, you know, there's a million different, you know, references for that. But I definitely want to be that kind of artist, the artist that can make cultural change and impact. And I'm going to do my thing. You know, I'm going to really make that happen.
Gosh, eyes on the prize.
That's the prize, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hits are really important. I really want to continue to just build and make people happy and entertain. But I think there's so much we can do for our culture right now on a generational level that comes from attaining wealth. And you have to use music as a means to bigger business, you know?
So right now, if someone was like, Leon, you get to stay on a movie set for the rest of your life or in a booth in a music studio for the rest of your life, what are you going to pick?
I'm going to go music studio. Yeah, for sure.
Really?
Yeah, because, you know, I love being on set.
Yeah.
But if you know anything about being on set, all my fellow actors and actresses out there, you know, it's a long and drawn out process. You know, it takes a while to really contain 3 minutes of a scene. You know, so I feel like in music, you know, we can get off a lot of ideas in a lifetime. I think I'll do that.
Do you feel like your music is finally being seen right now?
Yeah. I feel heard. I feel heard, and what's great is that I'm also being seen. I feel like the brand that we're building right now on a marketing level is resonating with people here in the States. I just went to the UK. I did 2 sold-out shows.
Ooh,
and I was walking
congratulations.
around. Thank you so much. I was walking around and people were like, you know, walking up to me and really supporting not just what I've done on TV, but also what I'm doing as a musician, and that's amazing. It means we're building something that's working, and shout out to my team. I mean, everybody's working hard and playing their part, so we're going to keep going.
And you're not just, I don't want to say just a one-dimensional artist, but that's the truth, right? You write your own music, you produce your own music, and you know how to play the instruments.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to production, how many instruments do you know how to play?
Well, I can say 5, but I haven't been practicing saxophone that much. So I'm about to take it off. I'm about to take it off the list because, man, somebody hand me an alto right now. I might be a little rusty, but I play 4 fluently, and saxophone. I even lay like sax parts on, like, you know, some of my songs. But to be honest, I'm better in the studio than I am live. To be real with you.
Wait, what are the 5 instruments?
I play drums, bass, guitar, piano, and sax. Yeah.
You don't play the clarinet. I play the clarinet in band.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, woodwind still, but you know,
we're the woodwind family.
Yeah. We was in the same section, but you know, I just picked the alto. I felt like that was a little sexier, you know. Like, you can't woo the girls with the clarinet. I mean, maybe you can. I don't know. Somebody's figuring it out, but yeah, I don't know if I really had that in me.
That is so amazing. I love that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Do you judge other artists who aren't as dimensional as you?
Not at all. I mean, I think anybody who's able to, you know, get in a booth, express their feelings, put it out, deal with all of the backlash that comes with, like, being vulnerable about your life.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I respect you. You know, I may not always love your music, but
Right.
it may not always resonate with me. But I respect the fact that you were brave enough to go out there, and get it done. And in a time period where there's like so much music coming out and so many new iterations. I mean, I'm constantly on a learning journey about what's next. And there's no like one way to be a great artist right now. You got to just kind of see people for who they are and, pick and choose what you love.
You're so humble. See, this is why I truly feel like God, the universe, did not bless me with any kind of musical ability, because if I had a little bit of your talent, I don't know, I think I'd be a little snobby. I'd be like, you can't play the saxophone right now. You're not writing your own music. Like, I don't know.
Nah. I mean, if you're around long enough, you realize it's like, everybody's got their little special gift. You got to just see, what it is.
Yeah. Have you seen an artist's journey that, I don't know, you admire because they've been able to use all their talents in just different ways? And, from your lens, it's going to be different than my lens. But someone's work that you're just like, their talent is, it just transcends.
I mean, a potent example of that is her. She is just using every one of her talents in a way that isn't like gimmicky. It just feels organic, and I've seen her live a bunch, and we're actually pretty good friends, and I definitely respect what she's done for R&B in that way, making it palatable to be musical, and, I definitely respect her.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because you're right.
Yeah, for sure.
100%, for sure.
She really got it. She really got it.
Katrina, we gotta get her on the show and give her flowers.
You should.
Absolutely.
You should.
She loves her. Her.
She's probably gonna be out here doing a promo run. I feel like she's working on new music. So,
that's so good.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, tell me what inspired Mutt, and give us the real.
You want the real?
Give us the real.
You want the real? And it's very weird how it all came about. My dog. I have a dog that was given to me by my ex-girlfriend for her birthday. He's a mutt. He's a German Shepherd Husky mix. And I came up with the title of the album before I came up with the song. I was like, I know what I want to name my album. I'm going to name it Mutt. And I just watched the Elvis biopic. And, I was really, I actually also worked with George Clinton that year, a legend, Parliament, Funkadelics, and like their whole thing was like dogs, and it was like a eureka moment, So the next day I ended up writing the single, and I was just kind of playing off of the word and finding a clever way to really rock with it in the hook. And,
So what happened in that relationship? Just first off, is the album about this person? Or is it about a series of situations, maybe?
It's a compilation of exes like that. It's not just one. But, I think it's it's been a journey. It's been a journey in my love life. It's been quite the situation, as you can hear in these records. But, that one specifically, we were both artists and just finding ourselves. And it was a COVID relationship. And, we were just trying to hold on. You know what I mean? We were trying to figure it out. I mean, it didn't work out, but we're still cool. So it's all love.
Have you spoken to this person or anybody that, you got any inspiration for that's here on the album?
For sure. They can call out when, something might be,
about them.
Real
wait. Did they immediately know right away? All right, Leon, I know this song, whatever, is about me.
Well, yeah.
Instantly.
I feel like if you date me, you'll live forever for sure. Because I'm gonna find a way to work you into like my art. Like you're gonna find your way in there, and I'm also gonna be around playing it, and you'll kind of understand. The connection to it, and then if we last, and it's forever. But you'll hear it out, and you'll know.
Is there any bad blood with anyone that you have a song about?
Nah. I mean, I think because of how I write too. Shout out to my co-writer Busy Crook. I have a co-writer that I work with, amazing rapper, amazing lyricist. He adds a lot of potent details to a lot of my records, especially in the verses, and because I'm also co-writing, some of the stuff that's really wild it's not me. You know what I'm saying? But I can resonate with it, but it won't be the exact detail connecting to the girl. But don't know what's up.
Oh my. Okay, wait. So tell us about the deluxe.
Yeah.
Are the songs on there gonna be inspired by other breakups? Or relationships, or a compilation? I loved how you described that, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just like writing I'm just writing from a place of freedom and confidence. I'm feeling so boosted up by all this energy and love I've been getting recently, and we're just really putting that into the music. I don't think there's any like strategic
Right.
play off of specifically just writing a bunch of breakup records. I think it's just really letting the best songs win,
Yeah.
and just making sure it all flows. I think story wise, we're stepping into a season of healing, though, and trying to really find maybe like less toxic ways to say what I'm trying to say
Yeah.
sometimes, But I think that's kind of the beauty of Mutt, it's like beautiful landscapes musically, but I'm also talking that talk over
Yeah.
it,
Yeah, listen, you're experienced. That's how we'll describe the compilation.
Experienced.
It's very experienced.
I like that.
So for the deluxe edition, you did say that Kehlani's gonna be on the album,
we got
right?
a great record, and that's one of my longtime friends. I've worked on a bunch of her albums, and
We love Kehlani.
yeah, I mean, she's a beast. Like, she's
Man.
just, I mean, have you guys seen her live
Of course.
recently?
Oh, well, not recently.
Pull up on her. Her new show is amazing.
Wait, why? Tell me.
You know what? I feel like she's like really stepping into her inner rock star right now, even more than I've seen from like previous shows, and it's really working well. She's doing her thing.
Yeah.
She performed for like an hour and a half maybe, and killed it. There was no point where I was like, all right, like this is. Never looked at the watch once.
You know what it is? Because she stays in the gym day and night.
Yeah.
So I feel like her stamina can't handle
Out of
an hour and a
control.
half of like intense performance.
Intense performance.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
really going in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Kehlani.
Uh-huh.
And I could see that. I could see the musical chemistry for sure.
Man, friends for life, for real. Like, that's really my dog.
Now, also, Big Sean is going to be
Yeah.
on the deluxe edition.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned old friends that the world loves,
Yeah.
but you didn't want to share it yet.
Nah. Not yet.
Okay, wait.
Not yet.
Okay, let's do this again. Is it a guy?
Yeah, it's a guy. Yeah.
Okay, there's a guy. Okay, how about more ladies?
Like for like
For the
other
deluxe,
features?
yeah. Outside of
other features outside of those? I mean, yeah, I think we mentioned all of the features I have so far.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, the ones I want to talk about.
the ones you want. See, you know what? I could see the toxic energy already. I could see the wordplay. Okay.
Oh, you like that?
I like
that?
it.
All right, good.
Okay, good. Okay, you should have been a lawyer.
Oh, really?
It would have
okay.
been good. You would have been like, well, technically, that word wasn't said.
I
so
always thought about that. I
maybe.
was like, man, I could have did well in the courtroom, but yeah, it's all good.
What do you think when people say, or at least compare your music to Frank Ocean's music? I've seen this floating around a little bit.
Yeah.
How do you receive the comparisons?
It's interesting. When he dropped his first mixtape, my friend was like, yo, there's this dude, he just dropped some music, and he has a similar tone as yours.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to it, and I'll never forget, it was like 200 views on his YouTube. He had just dropped it. 200 views on his
wow.
YouTube for Novocaine. And I was listening to it, and I was like, man, this guy's amazing. And
Yeah.
from that moment forward, I've just always been a fan of just how fearless he is as a creative. And I respect it. I feel like we definitely do different things, but I'm definitely extremely inspired by just his fearlessness with mixing in alternative themes and rock and R&B
Yeah.
and hip hop, and he's just one of those curators of sound that I feel like, to the end of time, we're definitely gonna look back to his contribution.
Yeah. You know what it is? I think your friend nailed it. The tone, there's a certain
Yeah.
tone, but I think also listening to the production, right?
Oh,
like
for sure.
right away when Katrina and I were just talking about you before you came in, I was just like, you know what? I think I really like the layering. I like the production.
Yeah.
And I think it's those details that really makes your music just stand out. It's
Yeah,
like
thank you.
polished, but like true.
Right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Oh, yeah,
there's a grit to it that I don't feel like it was done by 50,000 producers in one studio, but it has that finished vibe, but it's
Yeah.
still, it's got a grit to it.
I mean, I've been working for a long time in the production space, and it's been nice to be able to
Yeah.
pull in a lot of the homies that I love working with. And to finally work on my stuff, it's like a different kind of energy, you know. Like everybody's really bringing their A game, and also because I'm not like an easy artist to
No.
work with, because I'm a producer too. So I'll be like, hey man, we should try this, let's do that, and they listen, and we've come up with some amazing stuff because of it.
What's the most takes you've done on a song or a verse or something that if we ask someone who's worked with you, they're like, oh man, Leon drove us nuts this night. He had us do this take
Right.
X amount of times.
You know what's crazy about a lot of my music is I engineer myself, so nobody ever has to deal with that. You know,
like
because
this.
I'm definitely a perfectionist, so I'm not gonna have you sitting there. And if you want to sit there, you good. I need to put a sign up though, no sleeping in the studio, because it'll be me in headphones, just like going
Yeah.
crazy until it's right. You know, but yeah. I mean, I think a lot of the records, to be honest, on Mutt, you're listening to my first rough demo. Like I'm not one of those artists that goes in and does like a lead session. You know, I'll leave my first because I feel like you're capturing energy. You know,
Yeah.
and if I'm falling in love with something, I'm gonna share to the world what I love, not what I think they might love.
How long have you engineered a song for? Like that, it was just like, all right, clearly you're a perfectionist.
I will give up on a song if it takes me too long to sing it. I will say.
Okay.
Like, I feel like if I'm getting tired of it,
You'll walk away from it.
yeah, like it's just, you know, and because I'm writing and recording at the same time, it's not like I'm recording a demo of something. I'm like coming up with what's happening next in the moment. If it's taking me more than like 2 hours or 3 hours to come up with the idea, I'll usually just put it down and go to something else.
You know what? I think that takes discipline.
Yeah.
Because, you know, to be able to say, all right, you know what? I'm forcing this moment at this point. It's time to
Right.
move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like good music shouldn't be forced, but I mean, some things take time. So I don't know. Me personally, I just don't have the patience to sit there for like 8 hours on
Yeah.
one idea. Like we gotta move. I like to leave the studio with at least like 3 to 4 songs, just like, you know,
Yeah.
in my back pocket.
What was the song on Mutt that initially you thought, oh, I'm about to walk away from it because it's taking a minute to just get it right, but you're happy that you stuck it out because it's a song that you really like on the album?
I'll say Answer Your Phone was like, just
That's a
mixing
good
it
one.
was like really tough, and I was like, man, I don't know if I'm even gonna put this out like on the album, and
Right.
you know, but it worked out. Yes, It Is was another one that
Oh my
I
God,
was
these
like,
are the ones we like, Katrina.
yeah, Yes It Is was another one, mostly because I felt like I was like, well, it's like traditional R&B, and like, what if people think I'm just trying to be like, I don't know, like other artists and not myself. But what I realized was I like to play music for girls when I'm like around them, and I noticed the girls really like that one. So I was like, okay, we gonna let the best A&Rs in the world lock in on this and just like, yeah, just kind of figure it out. I mean, it's for women, you know, it's for everybody, but I really do it to make sure
It
that
worked. Me and Katrina,
women like it.
literally both those songs are our favorites.
I love that,
Literally.
yeah.
Before
But
you walked in,
I
I'm not.
I
I
stuck
wish
it
the
out to
cameras.
make sure it was right, though. You know, we had to get it right.
Leon did it for us. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah,
Thank you so
yeah.
much.
I mean, I appreciate
That's
y'all.
so
Thank you.
interesting to me. Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad you didn't give up on the songs.
I'm glad I didn't give up on them either. I mean, I think everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And I got a great team around me that'll be like, nah, man, don't give up on that one. Keep, you know.
Tell me about your performance on NPR for Tiny Desk. The song you performed was for your grandfather.
Y'all used to joke around like he wanted to do an opera version of it.
And he was an opera singer,
Yeah,
correct?
He was an opera singer.
And he passed away last year.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so
He
sorry,
passed
yeah.
away. He passed away a couple weeks before the Tiny Desk, and then his funeral was 2 days after that. So like my brain was like all over the place. But it was so amazing to have his energy with me there for that performance. I know he was like, you know.
What have you learned from him as an opera singer that you take with you as an artist?
I think it's more so just vocal health. Understanding that the vocal cords are a muscle and you have to work it out and protect it.
How did he do it? I'm so curious
Well, I
about
mean,
this.
it's just warming up and
Yeah.
having techniques for that, like basic practices. Especially once I started being on Broadway, it was very important to make sure my vocal health was like on point.
Your family's pretty musical in the sense of
Yeah.
extremely talented.
It's our language. That's how we speak to each other. I mean, even at his funeral, like all of my family members were going up there and singing, from my sister to my mom to my uncle was playing drums, my stepdad was playing guitar. Like it was a whole like musical thing. That's how we speak.
Does your family give you any feedback about your music where they're like, you know what, you could have layered this different. You know what, Leon, you could
Absolutely.
have played the drums.
I
We could have
mean-
had it pump, do something different here.
Luckily, they didn't give me too many notes. My mom is a tough A&R, I will say, but they let me know they felt like this album Mutt was a really special one. This was the one that people were gonna really resonate with, and that was a good that was just a nice feeling, to know that.
Yeah.
Like before I like gave it out to the world, I got the approval from my family, and that's what I needed.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. How did they react when you won your first Grammy?
Everybody was super happy for me, very happy for me. It was so much love, and they all came out to my after party, and it was a fun night. It was a fun night, and my mom, she knows how hard I've been working, and at a certain point, she was like, Leon, what are you doing writing and producing for these other artists? You need to do your own thing, But I was trying to tell her, like, my perspective on it was, I always felt like there was so much to learn, and I will say I've got a master class in just how to really brand and roll yourself out. All of it, every aspect, from the positives to the negatives. I've just seen, how it starts and ends. So I feel like I'm genuinely ready to do this thing for a real long time.
I'm excited for you. How was it for you to win a Grammy? It was for the work that you did with SZA for Snooze. So how was it for you to now, have your work being recognized?
It feels amazing, and
Yeah.
I mean, like, everything was cool when they announced it. I was like kind of holding it together, quick little thug tear, you heard. But then they bring you backstage, and it's hectic back there. Like, they have like a whole room, they call it a media room, where they have about like 40 photographers all at once.
Yeah.
You gotta hold the Grammy, then you gotta go straight to Entertainment Tonight. It's like a whole thing. It's like it really feels like what you would think it would feel like, and it definitely puts you in that surreal place.
It's a lot.
Definitely had chills for sure.
Did you and SZA talk afterwards, like to celebrate anything?
You know what? We never really talk about the Grammy. That's kind of weird, right?
Everything else but the Grammy.
Literally everything else. Like, we'll like comment on like each other's memes and stuff,
Right.
but like we don't really like go into in depth on that one. But shout out to her. She's a really dope person. Yeah. I'm glad it was with her for sure.
Yeah. And you know what? I want to talk about that process a little bit because, Babyface was also involved in the process of Snooze. And I love to show love to the greats and the icons. So what was that process like? Like, what is that involvement? For a lot of people, they don't know what goes behind creating a song.
No, I mean, it was a super collaborative process, but I thought the best part of it was, SZA was in another room. She's one of those artists that likes to record by herself.
Okay.
So she was in another room. We had another studio like right around the corner. And while
So was
she was
this
recording
night
one
planned?
idea.
So was this-
Yeah, it was planned.
Okay,
It was,
so you
it's
guys are
all,
supposed
you know
to
what's
be-
funny? It was all surrounding the Grammys, actually, because it was that year's Grammys. It was like a couple days after that year's Grammys. And
Whoa.
SZA ran into Babyface and was like, I'm a huge fan. He was like, well, let's work. And set up the session, and he immediately thought of me and Chris to come by to help him put that song together. And we were at the studio. We had an idea cooked up that we thought she might like to write to. She wasn't really feeling it, but she was gonna try something out. So we know that look in the artist's eye when they're like kind of, all right, well, I'll try something. So we went to the other room and we were praying something worked, and it did. We came up with a really nice track. Babyface was playing guitar, and I was playing guitar and bass, and we had this sample from my boy BLK from Ireland or Scotland. I'm not sure which one, but he sent off like these really cool chords that we kind of just worked everything around. Chris did drums. It was like a band effort. And then, you know, SZA heard the track, loved it, went into the other room, hour and a half, maybe 2.
Damn,
and
that's
came back
crazy.
with a whole hit. Like, that entire song was written in that 2-hour span.
That's crazy to me.
I know, yeah.
Because of the success that this song continues to have, by the way.
Magical, man. She's a beast with the pen, for sure.
When you heard it, when you're listening back, right?
Yeah.
You're sitting there, Babyface, you're listening to it, and did you know, oh, this is going to be a big record?
First off, we definitely had our iPhones recording on a low just so we could walk away with it. Because, you know, artists like that, they ain't going to let us walk away with a bounce. So, like,
Right.
now we sitting there with that stuck in your head. Imagine having Snooze stuck in your head for 2 years. Like,
Yeah.
So, I mean, up until the day that it came out, sometimes I would listen to that little, like, it's literally my iPhone's ruffling in my pocket.
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
Of us just listening to it. You can even hear me and Chris in the background like, woo, yeah. Yo, we knew in that moment, like, even if it wasn't the biggest hit of all time, like, we knew for a fact people were going to resonate with that and they were going to feel what we felt, which is just, it just felt special. It felt classic, and it was so easy to sing back. That was the big thing, you know?
This is just, you know what, you talk about it so casually because you're in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, yeah, you know, Babyface thought of me and Chris and you know, for people who are listening, this part of the Rascals, right? Chris, part of the Rascals, just so people like are like, who's Chris?
Yeah.
Where is he coming from?
Yeah.
So
me and Chris are a production duo called the Rascals.
Right.
Yeah.
So you get this call or whatever, and you guys go in a studio, and this magic happens. I don't know. I'm just amazed by these moments because it's a blessing, but it's also unexpected because I'm sure you've been in the studio with greats before and nothing has, you know, panned out from those situations.
I mean, it's really all about. It's so funny because even at that time, I was looking to do a publishing deal, so I was really doing a million sessions.
Damn.
And I like even took that little demo I had of Snooze and I played it for this publisher, and I'll never forget. She said, "It's all right." I remember looking at her. I was like, "Man, you really don't know what you're talking about." But I just stepped. You know,
She's still working in that space?
She's doing all right. I think I don't know where she's at now.
We're not gonna hate. We're not gonna hate. But woo!
Yeah, no, but it was definitely a special moment, and I feel like everybody brought their A game. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
I love these stories. Okay, I want to talk about you working with Ariana Grande because this story is so also like just full circle moments happening in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you and Ariana Grande actually met working on Nickelodeon for Victorious on the show. You guys were on the show together, right? Yeah. Did you instantly have musical chemistry with Ariana?
Yeah, I mean, she was another Broadway kid, right? So she was in a Broadway play. I think it's called 13 or something like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, she was moving from New York as well. She had a place in New York she stayed at. And essentially, she was pretty much the only person I knew in LA, like the cast, like all of us who moved out there. I didn't really know anybody. So I spent all my time kicking it with a young Ariana Grande, you know, hanging at her house. She had the biggest crib because her mama real rich. So like, we all used to kick it at her house for sure. And she was such a cool person. We had school backstage, so we spent a lot of time together, and we definitely spent a lot of time dreaming. And I mean, we were already doing like really amazing things on the TV show, but obviously at that age we're like, oh yeah, we're doing stuff for kids now, but like, yo, when I grow up, you know,
you guys really would have like, those conversations.
Of course, like what? We're sitting there talking about it all. You know what we wanted from this whole situation. You know what the future would look like. And I mean, we were seeing what it looked like for a lot of other child stars and people that graduated from that whole Nick and Disney situation, and we knew how we wanted to do it was going to be different.
Damn, I love the vision. It was pretty clear then.
Oh yeah, it was like planned out. And I mean, for most of the cast, I was the one that was coming in with recorded music already, right? So she was asking me a lot of questions early on like what? Just on what kind of gear I had at the house, like how I was able to put records together without dealing with a producer. Like she was even at a certain point looking for management and stuff like that. And you know, it was so cool seeing her process and how she really clawed her way to the #1 spot
For
in that
real.
pop field for a nice minute. And you know, she's a huge inspiration and a really good friend. So I'm just happy that we were able to collaborate on our first album in the ways that we did. And
Yeah, you've worked on
and even
two
on-
of her
yeah,
albums.
yeah,
Yeah.
positions
Okay,
too,
so
yeah.
this isn't just like here and there. Like you've worked
Yeah.
on two of her albums.
Yeah.
So during this time, did you guys always keep in touch? Like, meaning, have you guys always, hey, I'm working on
It's
music.
like-
How's your career? Like,
It's like that. I would say more like a college friend, right?
yeah. Okay.
That you're like really close with, right?
Yeah.
But like you're not like
Hanging out every day, kind of.
it's not every because first off we're busy. We're
Right.
both doing a lot of stuff. But one thing I will say is that she's always reached out and let me know she's proud of me, and I've done the same. And we've been there for each other at both the highs and the lows.
Yeah.
And it's like really like a brother and sister energy of just support. And it's nice to have that, especially for somebody who's even seen more of like what it feels like to be at the highest of the high. Like she really understands what that's like and the highs and lows that come with it. So, I'm grateful to have a friend like that
Oh,
around.
yeah. If I were to ask Ariana Grande right now, because I know you might not, toot your own horn, but like if I asked her, hey, give me a highlight of what you've learned about music or anything with Leon, what do you think she would pinpoint out?
Learned.
Or maybe just like, you know what?
I don't
This
know.
part I really enjoyed working with Leon. Like every
Yeah.
time I get in the studio with him, I definitely want to do this.
Well, I'll say something that she said because I think that's better than trying
You're
to
so
think
humble.
for
I
her.
can't.
But
I'm kidding.
She said I was fearless in the studio, and that to me, man. I mean, I was, I'm the kind of producer who will like have an idea and I'll get a random mic and just yodel like and just try some stuff and pitch it up and pitch it down and like just do it. I mean, I'm really like a mad scientist in that way. Like I'll
So
just
cool.
whatever I have on my mind, I'm gonna do. And I mean, that's one thing she definitely said, and I'm definitely one of those creatives that's gonna like really just go for it, whether it works or it doesn't. I'm gonna at least try.
What's the main difference being on a movie set, a show set with Ariana, and being in the studio with her? With your vision as a creative.
Yeah, I think on set, I haven't seen her on any of these other sets, but on the set we were on,
Sure.
she was really. She was really like the homie, like super goofy and just like always clowning around. I noticed when we got into the studio later on, I was dealing with a whole different boss lady version of her that was genuinely a beautiful thing to be around, but
Yeah.
it was business,
Yeah.
And it was still fun to like hang around her and stuff, but yeah, it was like a different vibe, a vibe of focus. I mean, she engineers herself and. She's
She engineers her own music.
yeah.
Look at
she's
you
nice in
guys
Pro
all
Tools.
engineering.
Nice in Pro Tools. I mean, I think it's really, honestly, if you look at a lot of the greatest artists, a lot
Sure.
of them have engineers, of course, nearby to help make it sound better. But it's good to kind of just be in control of your creative process
This
and
is
not have
so
to
cool.
rely on somebody else.
Yeah. This is so cool to me right now.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Engineers. If we ever
Yeah.
run into Ariana Grande, Katrina, we're going to bring it up. So when it comes to engineering, you have to know like the actual programs. Like
Yeah,
what
like all the-
program, if we try to get our engineering on, what program should we focus on?
I'll say like
Pro
most,
Tools?
Pro Tools is like what everybody uses, and it'll be in every major studio.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm a weirdo because I also do a lot of production stuff, but I do a lot of my vocals, actually all of them in Logic. All of it's
Classic.
top to bottom in Logic, like from the music to my vocals.
Classic.
That way everything's in one place and I can just change stuff when I want to.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
A mad scientist. I'm
yeah,
not mad at the energy.
So it's all right there, yeah.
What do you think about all the success for your friend Ariana when you see Wicked? And it's just,
Oh, man.
it's gone to a different world.
This is a stratosphere, and
Yeah.
I think I've always known.
Yeah.
I've always known it was gonna go here, and we had a conversation just kind of just talking about like music versus acting.
Yeah.
And it's funny, at that time I was doing a lot of acting, And she was like, come on over here on the music side.
Yeah.
And now I'm over on the music side. She's back on the acting side
For
doing
sure.
her thing. And I think it's so beautiful to see her return, but in a really epic way. I think that's the right way to
Yeah.
do it, because she came back so polished and so ready, and she really killed it in the film. And got nominated
It's
and
crazy.
that for an Oscar. Like that's life-changing stuff.
That's crazy. And that's got to feel incredible to see her on this journey. But as friends,
I'm proud.
Yeah.
I'm proud.
Yeah.
You know, but I've always been that proud friend. I'll never forget, we was on a red carpet, and it was like somebody like Katy Perry or something was like coming in on a carpet, and like everybody was like pushing us out the way so they could get a picture of Katy Perry. And Amir, like, I want to say 6 to 8 months later, I was watching absolutely everybody bow to that lady's feet. Ariana Grande walking through, bowing to her feet. And I thought that was a real special moment and a really good lesson of just, you know, grind.
That's right.
Put the work in, you know?
Yeah.
You know, walk in your purpose, and it's going to happen for you.
It's grinding and also having undeniable talent.
Yeah, that part.
Like, it's...
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, she's walking in her purpose. Yeah.
That's so great to see that. I want to go back in time a little bit and talk about the show Victorious. It is about to reach the 15-year anniversary. Does that sound crazy to you?
I was just talking about this earlier. No, because like I'm meeting fans who are now like vice presidents of things. Like they're like
What?
like doctors, lawyers, like locked in.
And they're like, yeah, I used to watch you, but now I'm a
Literally,
doctor.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I'm with it, and like just like they're proud of me, I'm proud of them. You know, I'm proud of us, man. We're really going in. We're locking in 15 years.
That's crazy.
That's really cool.
But,
yeah,
okay, so
15
that's
years
15.
is crazy.
So then how, so let's add Broadway in.
Yeah. Well, that's the
20,
so,
right?
21
At
years.
least
Yeah,
20.
Yeah, 21, yeah.
That's so crazy to me that, and I feel like you're just unlocking music world right now.
Yeah.
Like it's like a whole nother lifetime that you're about to start to explore.
Right.
Do you get what I mean? It
Oh,
feels
absolutely, absolutely, and I'm really excited about all of it. You know, it's really cool traveling the world, performing my music, doing my thing. It's just a whole different experience. Really getting that rock star energy off on
You're not
on the stage.
tired?
Oh, I'm with it. I'm with it. I mean, this is it's something I'm very passionate about, and like I said before, you know, my mission is to push forward so I can create a genuine business outside of just the entertainment.
Yeah.
And I think you really need to have a potent version of it in the entertainment field to really transfer it over as an entrepreneur. And I'm trying to be like Jay-Z, you know, like I want that vibe.
It's a big empire.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, big empire, you know.
What, for you, starting your career so young, do you feel like it was also hard to transition into, you know, adult musical world? Meaning you were a child star.
Yeah.
Did people try to, I don't want to say son you, but they didn't take you as serious because you were a child star?
For sure.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I was really tapped into the whole production duo thing with the Rascals. It was a great way for me to have you listen to my music first and then find out who I am. And it was a great opportunity to like lock in.
Why did people? What's the judgment? I guess it's like, wouldn't you look at someone who has had experience? Like, wow, they have great experience in the game.
Yeah, but I mean, if you like Google me, you might. I don't know. Like at that time, you'll see me in a spaghetti suit, like singing songs for kids. Like I don't know. Like it was like all types of stuff that I was doing. That was like, you know, I was on a kids show, so like we definitely having fun up there. But when I was working for, you know, because I mean, I've got records with like Young Thug, Lil Uzi Vert,
right?
Like, you know, for like rappers, you know, like rappers. So it's definitely the kind of vibe where you kind of want to sneak in without them having to see that first. Nardo Wick, like, yeah, you know.
This is so interesting. Yeah. So how did you overcome that?
I don't know. I mean, the thing is you may recognize me from a TV show, but I still got beats that are probably better than the homie from wherever else, you know? Like, so I'm like leading first with the talent and just vibing and being cool and just kicking it.
Yeah.
I really feel like I can fit in anywhere, you know. Just because I was on TV doesn't mean I don't understand hip hop in its truest form or any of the genres that I work in, you know.
Yeah.
And I try not to come through with an ego, but I also know what I'm worth and what I can
Come
offer.
on.
Yeah.
Right. What advice would you give to a young child who wants to be in the industry, being that you were a child star and they have aspirations, to follow in your footsteps? What advice would you give them?
It's not just the advice I would give them; it's the people around them.
Okay, like their parents.
Yeah, their parents. If you're gonna try to go in the whole from a young age,
Yeah.
you have to really create a safe place for your kids to both be as human as possible. It's almost like I would equate it to being like a superhero. You really need to have a healthy human life as much as you do have the ethereal like artist and actor and whatever else title you want to put on it. And I think my mom really did a good job of that. And anybody who wants to jump into it, I think you got to create a safe place.
Okay.
A place that they can really feel grounded on their journey.
Yeah. I wanted to ask how your experience was, but your mom she created that and fostered that.
I feel like I'm like my mom's startup at this point.
And a very great startup, by the way. That's amazing. Okay. And what piece of advice would you give to your younger self?
My younger self, I would say only listen to people who have done what they're giving you advice on. Like if they've actually accomplished that goal before. Those details that they may share with you are going to be more potent than the people who are just guessing,
Yeah.
Because I think experience is a really great way of like flowing through this industry. And a lot of people have grand ideas of how you're supposed to get it done. But, follow the experience, folks. Because I've been in some situations with people who really talked a good talk, but it never really did before. So they were figuring it out like me.
Best piece of advice you've gotten then?
Best piece of advice is gonna go to my grandfather. The key word to this game is next. So always have your next move ready,
Yeah. And how about the worst piece of advice? The person that was telling you how to do it but didn't have the experience.
I don't know.
Advice that you're glad you did not listen to. You knew they meant well, but...
Yeah. They were saying in order for me to be successful, I would have to change my name as an artist. And I said, no. that's no.
No.
I worked hard to build this,
That's right.
And there's views flowing for a reason. Because we worked hard.
That's right.
Yeah, we worked hard. I'm not gonna run away from who I am or try to hide so I can reveal
It's me.
Nah, I'm right here.
Yeah.
And there's no nickname. It's just me. It's my name.
I love this.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you so much.
I can't wait to see all the next chapters and journeys and compilations and experiences that you share with us.
We'll see.
I'm excited for the deluxe. You'll let us know, right? I assume
for sure.
you'll...
Oh,
okay.
No. Second it's ready, I'll shoot it over.
I cannot wait. I'm really happy for you, and I really...
Thank you so much.
I love seeing undeniable talent, hard work, and great energy win. It's important that we see those wins because it's a reminder that it takes so much to make success happen. This didn't happen overnight.
Absolutely, yeah.
At all. How many no's, how many doors closed, how many,
plenty.
And it's just
Slammed.
to see this, it is,
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you so much.
I'm excited
I really
for you.
it.
And, I love that your family has been so instrumental
for sure
in your journey, and you're lucky to have that. Please say hi to them.
Always going to give them the flowers. Thank you so much.
For sure.
Yeah,
Come
for
back
real.
soon.
Oh, yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back. I got to come
Okay.
and hang. Let's do it.